On today's show, we talk about embarrassing stories and Charlie showing kids things he definitely should not have.
We talk about billionaires that are going to jail, and they definitely should.
Charlie talks about speedrunning and if Tyler or Charlie have ever speedran.
And we do our review of Midsommar, all coming up on the Seg-Way Podcast. Hey, welcome to the Seg-Way.
The best thing to happen to you on a Thursday.
That is right.
Did you hear the sound?
I did. Episode 2.
Yeah.
Hope y'all had a good 4th of July. Did you do anything fun, Charlie?
No.
No? Just see some family?
Yeah, I just saw family.
Same. Yeah. But it's good for that, Had a day off, so always a good time. So thank you guys for checking out the first episode, and if you didn't, then you can pause this right now and go check it out. We'll be here. We'll be waiting.
That's the fun thing about a podcast. It's just going to be there.
I know. So, yeah. So today, we got some new segments for you, starting off with embarrassing stories. I have a feeling this will be a recurring one, just because of how life goes. Next segment will be called You Done Messed Up. We'll get to that. Followed by Nerd Notes.
I did some pretty significant research, more than I meant to do, on Nerd Notes this week. It'll be a good section.
See, that's the kind of thing that tends to happen when you care about your subject. You go far and beyond. And then, so our main pillar for this week is the second week cinema. So we will be reviewing Midsommar or...
Midsommar.
So,
are you going to tell a story about the box office?
No. Well, when we get there, I probably will.
Yeah, you will.
I will.
I'm so mad about it.
So, and also just keep in mind that this review right now today is going to be completely spoiler-free. So you can still enjoy our review without having seen it yet. Tomorrow we will be uploading a secondary podcast, which we're going to be calling Extra Extra Hear All About It. And that will be full of spoilers. So it'll be full of details, everything we thought about the movie. Probably a little bit shorter than our traditional podcast, but just, to get more of a feel. So that's the schedule for today, and let's jump on into it.
Okay, so embarrassing stories.
Take it away, Charlie.
All right, so this first story is going to be about when I was substitute teaching.
Was that recently?
It was, I guess in context, yes, it's recently.
Okay, in context of your entire life.
Yes.
Okay.
It was last spring, so
yeah.
It was toward the end of the semester, so I had younger kids, and the younger kids were 1 to kindergarten, and we watched Backyardigans or whatever it is. I don't know.
Backyardigans? What is that?
That's a kid's show.
Okay.
Magic School Bus.
Oh, yeah.
Those, the top favorites.
Yeah.
And then second to third grade, we watched Mary Poppins.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So we were watching movies because the teacher who was absent, they didn't leave me something to do.
Lesson plan.
They didn't leave me a lesson.
That pissed me off, I think.
Yeah, I was really upset.
Yeah.
But so you just kind of got to roll with it. So you can play movies if that happens. It was also an elective class. As elective as it gets. Okay. Music, gym. Mm-hmm. This was a computer.
Gotcha.
So, so my 5th grade class is coming in, right? And you're supposed to, Yeah. So they're coming in. And, so I'm scrambling. So I played a movie that I remember liking when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I think I was probably a little bit older.
What movie?
Zathura.
Zathura. Isn't that the sequel to Jumanji?
Yeah, it
Not
is.
sequel, but sequel.
Yeah.
Without Kevin Hart. Okay.
I didn't realize, in 5 minutes in, the kid goes, "Suck my dick." I had to pause and say, guys, that's not a good thing to say, right? And they're dying. They're 5th grade, so they're 10.
Yeah.
And they're just dying. So the kids are dying.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay, don't say that. Don't tell anybody. I fucking let you see that. And,
you passed a note around and said, everybody sign it.
Yeah, you gotta
you saw
check,
nothing.
No, nothing was seen. So we moved on. We kept watching the movie.
Yeah.
Not that much farther later, he called, the younger brother calls the kid an asshole. This is a PG-13 movie. I thought we'd be okay with this.
Even though they're not 13.
So maybe it's not PG-13. Maybe it's PG. I don't remember. But the point is, I thought it'd be fine. It wasn't fine. Because there's another one. After Kristen Stewart wakes up from being frozen or whatever.
I didn't see the movie.
Whatever. It's Kristen Stewart before Twilight. But every time that happened, I had to tell the kids, don't say to your parents, the substitute let us watch this movie that had a lot of swears in it, and I'm like trying to cover my tracks, and like I was really embarrassed for myself. And the next year, I went to the middle school to teach 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
The kid goes, "Oh, you're the substitute that let us see the movie with the swears in it."
Oh.
And I was like,
"You got a reputation."
Well, yeah.
Are you gonna say the district or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I still want to teach there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's my story.
Gotcha.
I thought it was.
No, I mean that it's embarrassing in that you could have lost your job. Maybe.
No,
maybe not.
no.
Okay. What would be the worst that would happen?
The worst for that will be a reprimand. Someone say, "Hey,
Somebody smack you." They'd call you in so that they could smack your wrist.
Yeah, they'd be like, "You gotta be more careful."
Okay.
Which is fair.
Yeah. So you haven't done that movie since?
No. No.
Okay. So my embarrassing story, I'm pretty sure I've told you this. I might have actually told you this recently.
Okay, go ahead.
Less recently than your story. I was working at Old Navy. Mm-hmm. Do you know where I'm going?
No.
Okay, cool. So we had a group called the Knave Slaves.
What?
The Knave Slaves. It was really cool.
It was cool?
It was a Facebook group.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's so much prefacing to this story. Yeah. I'm just gonna do it just because I want to do it. Mm-hmm. So we had the Knave Slave. So if you wanted to switch shifts with somebody, mm-hmm. like if you wanted to switch shifts and say, "Hey, I'm working at 10 to 2, can somebody take it?" Like we had like 15 people who were all really cool mm-hmm. in that group, and I actually really miss this group. Like I was actually on my phone the other day and I saw like a picture where we all went to. Oh god, it was one of those bars like Panini's or something. It was in Fair Lawn. It was like a really, really cool group. So everybody's kind of moved on from mm-hmm. that group, and they're in different parts of the world now. So it's fun, but it was a really good time.
In the Navy?
No.
Okay.
No, like one dude's in Florida, one girl moved to Seattle, like that's one girl's in Arizona. Yeah. Those are all my managers. I don't know why I'm just talking about them. But anyway, so there's this new girl that came to work there. And I didn't really think about it. I just started. If you started working there and you were in that group, and I hate being exclusive like this, but not everybody was in the group. But I wasn't in charge of adding people, so I wasn't like the judge being like not cool enough or you're weird or you smell. You know, it's just kind of like if you got into it, I added you as a friend. So I had an iPhone 4S, I think, back at that time, and it was really, really old. Like it was past the 4S prime. Like okay. It was even then.
It was like 6S territory.
Yeah. Probably. I still have a 6S now. But it would freeze on me all the time. And I remember I had like some Facebook ad, and then I had a post by the new girl, and then I had probably like somebody else's post about anything. But I'm like my screen was froze, and I'm trying to aggressively swipe up. Like I'm just trying to scroll. Like I'm trying to kill time and just scroll on Facebook.
Yeah, but
and I'm aggressively doing it, and nothing's happening. So I'm like, I just shut my phone off, put it in my pocket. I'm like, fine, whatever. Like, I can entertain myself in the real world. I don't know what I did, but, you know. So I'm walking around, and like an hour or two later, I go back to it because I'm a millennial, and that's what we do. Mm-hmm. So I check, and I see that I shared a post.
No!
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm like, oh, crap. When did I share a post? And I was like, oh, I must have shared it when I was swiping. So this new girl had just come back from vacation. Some beach, somewhere, I don't know. So she had a photo album of like 6 or 7 photos of her family on vacation. And I shared it. Could you imagine? Imagine you went on vacation and you just started a new job and some random person
from your new job
shared your photo album of
some
vacation.
Dude you don't even know, really.
I was defriended very quickly.
Yeah, you should have been.
I earned that. I deserve that. Although I blame my technology.
Was it while you were engaged? Or married?
No, I wasn't married. No, this was like 2014. So it was 5 years ago.
Okay.
So we were just dating, but I mean, even still, I wasn't like it could have been another dude. It's just the fact that somebody that you don't know shared your family vacation photo album. Like that's not something you share.
Did you get rid of it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
First thing I did was delete it, and then I like hid under my bed or something. No, I wish I would have screenshot it. See, at the time I was mortified.
Yeah.
And it's like anything. In the moment, it's like the worst thing in the world, and then like later on, it's a good story.
Okay, but how was work when you saw that person?
That's a good question. I don't think we ever really interacted. Maybe it was 2015 too.
That makes it worse.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it was weird because there wasn't a lot of us, but I feel like you could go weeks without the same shift as some people. But I was only there for like almost like just 1 full year before I started doing the Meals on Wheels, so it probably wasn't long before that I quit. Maybe that's why I quit. Maybe I've just repressed that mindset. But that is my embarrassing
That's
story.
a fun story.
I'm surprised you never heard that before.
You know what? I feel like maybe, now that I've heard it, I think maybe I've heard that before. But it's still pretty good.
Thank you. See, the trick is, I want to be able to tell that without laughing, but I personally find it so funny that I couldn't stop from laughing. Because it's just the idea of somebody... Could you imagine somebody really sharing your photo album?
No.
Like, it's not like a post. It's literally, here's my family vacation photos. Share.
It's partially on her, though.
For posting them?
She didn't make it unshareable.
So this segment is called You Done Messed Up.
Alright, I'm excited. I have nothing prepared.
No, that's okay. That it'll come and go. This is kind of like... So, we have another segment that we haven't done yet. It's only our second episode, so you're probably going to hear that a lot. It's called Weirdo Watch. And this one is different from that. Weirdo Watch is more like when somebody does something unusual. Like, if somebody's going around throwing up in yards in your neighborhood, that's a weirdo watch. This is different. This is, I don't want to say more serious because of the second person I'm going to talk about. It's just different. Like, these aren't weirdo. How many do you have? Just 2.
Okay.
One, should I start serious or not serious? I'll you pick.
Dude, go intense into light.
Intense into light. Alright. Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. You done messed up.
Okay. Why?
Okay. You are a billionaire. You can do whatever you want. I feel like it's and I don't mean to make light of this. It's like in The Sims when you've upgraded everything and you have nothing else to do and you just start doing bad things because why not? Like, that mindset must be you are above the law. This dude was sex trafficking from the years 2002 to 2005. That's what they say. I can't imagine in 2005 he's just like, that was dumb. I'm going to stop doing that. This asshole, and these girls were as young as 14.
Oh my god.
Like, this dude is sick. Like, this is messed up. He's 66 now, so 2005, what is that? That's 14, 15 years.
Yeah, he's like...
So he's like,
40s, 50s.
Yeah, like, and from what I read, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm not giving this dude the benefit of the doubt.
No, why would you?
Exactly, is that he was at his mansion, and he would have people go out and bring these girls to him and massage him naked and just do all the, like this dude...
So what do you mean sex trafficking? Like, he was like, orchestrating? Shuffling him around?
I guess you could call it, like, prostitution escort, too. I don't know if he... But see, like, who knows all the full details? Like, is he... Like, if he was sending them out to other people or anything like that, like, it is just, like... you know what? This dude, I guarantee, he's like, I'm a billionaire, I can do whatever I want.
Oh, yeah, he was like, fuck it.
Yeah, and you know what, dude? When you're in jail, it doesn't matter. You could have $1 million, you could have $1 billion, you could have $10. It does not matter.
It matters a little bit. I mean,
that's sad to think about.
It does matter a little bit.
I can't believe that this is just happening now. Like 14 years later.
Yeah, that's weird to catch him. Man, did someone come forward?
I feel like it's actually who busted him. I have this. It was FBI NYPD Crimes Against Children Task Force. Oh. That's who came out because he was doing it in New York and Florida.
So Olivia Benson.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Olivia Benson and Ice-T were like, we got this motherfucker.
Yeah, Ice-T probably in real life is like...
I know, he's probably like...
Pull out his gun.
Yeah.
Oh, sidetrack real quick.
Yeah.
You know he almost killed someone from Amazon?
Did he?
Yeah, because you know how like the Amazon people just like...
Now they can go in your house?
Oh, what? Oh,
they can do that now.
What? Why?
If you choose, they can just come and drop it off.
You're
in the bathroom, you're like, I'm upstairs.
Oh my god. Anyway, no, but that's not what I meant. But they just have like their own cars.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know that. Well, he didn't realize that they just had their own cars. So, someone pulled up to his house in their own car, and he pulls out his gun.
No.
He almost shot him. He almost fucking shot them. Because he didn't know that it was Amazon.
You must have forgot about that 2-day shipping.
Go back and hear your story.
This is the reason why Me Too exists. Like, people like this, whether you have any money or not, should not be hiding. You know what I mean? And, like, I don't wish violence on anybody, but man, I hope this dude gets, like...
Oh, he's gonna get butt plugged. Yeah, he's gonna get it.
So, that dude, and that's so far beyond just done messed up. Like, oh, it sickens me, like, to hear about this. Like, repulsive. I hope he gets everything coming to him in jail, because that is just... And it's been a long time coming. Like, it's just disgusting.
Unfortunately, he's got a great lawyer team. Unfortunately,
could you imagine representing this guy though? Like, they throw them in jail too.
Well,
there's no line. Like, if I'm the judge, I'm just waiting to see what defense attorney takes and be like, hey, look, I found your cell partner.
When I took the LSAT, I was considering being a defense attorney.
Would you take on this case?
As a defense attorney, you have to have a different moral standard.
Oh my god.
I don't want to say yeah. I don't know. He probably pays a lot of money. He's a billionaire. Dude,
he paid the girls hundreds of dollars. He's a billionaire and he gave him $100.
Hundreds?
I know.
Hundreds?
Listen, this is terrible. But when I was reading this, I already in my mind put of thousands after it. And it wasn't there.
Oh my god.
It was just hundreds of dollars. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Hundreds of millions. Oh my god.
Like, no, in every sense of the word, this dude is sick. All right, so then let's shake that out. That's gross. So this guy that done messed up.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook.
He's famous, right?
Yeah, he's a basketball player for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What did he Thunder?
Yep.
What did he do?
He done messed up. That's what he did. And let me just say this now. If I accidentally say Russell Wilson at any time during this
is he
part,
also famous?
He's a football player.
Yes,
but
he's
boring as shit.
I like him.
I have no reason to talk about him. So just assume no matter what, I'm talking about Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
But I always accidentally slip into it. So Russell Westbrook has had James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Paul George all on his team. 2 of them at one time. And this dude cannot be a team player. Everybody rips on LeBron, but he's like the ultimate team player. And look at him going out and recruiting all these people. People are running away from Russell Westbrook. James Harden left. Kevin Durant left. Paul George asking for a trade, and now he's with Kawhi in LA. And it's like, dude, quit padding your stats. Nobody cares about your triple doubles if you're never going to win a championship, if you're just driving everybody away. Like, start passing the ball. And go ahead. You have a question, yes.
But how many triple doubles does he have?
He has a lot.
All right.
He's known for it. It's amazing. Okay. Do you know what triple double is?
I know. No.
Double figures in points and rebounds and assists.
That's good.
But you'll see him running, and he'll have an easy shot, and then he'll just like give it to the guy behind him to get like to pad his stats.
Oh, okay.
It's like he's more worried about stats than winning, and he puts in a ton of effort. There was a stat, and I wish I had it. I don't have it in front of me right now. But it's like Oklahoma wins significantly more when he takes less shots. But he does this thing where he just is like a good player for a half, and then the game starts getting tight, and it's getting near the end, and he just turns into, all right, I'm taking every shot. And then they lose. And other star players don't want to play with that. That's why everybody likes LeBron, because he passes them the ball. So, definitely not as serious as Jeffrey Epstein dipshit. But Russell Westbrook, you done messed up.
So this Nerd Notes is probably going to be dominated by me. But you'll have some Nerd Notes sometime, right?
You mean just the segment in general or today?
The segment in general.
Yeah, I could find some nerd qualities.
All right.
I got a little bit of nerdiness in my bones.
So I'm more of the D&D fantasy kind of nerdum, but this is kind of an encompassing thing. And Tyler, feel free just to stop me.
Let me stop you right now.
Yeah.
This will have passed by the time you're listening to this, but as of the recording of the Seg-Way Podcast, Happy National Video Game Day.
Yay!
Yeah, so
that also ties into what we're going to talk about.
I hope you guys are doing it properly, staying up way too late, bloodshot eyes, 2 liter of Mountain Dew, ignoring responsibilities.
I stayed up till 3 last night playing Overwatch.
Yeah, playing an old...
Technically, onto
today.
Video Game Day.
Yeah, so good for you. You did it right. I didn't do it right. I messed up. Next year, I'll mark it in my calendar.
Mm-hmm. What's today?
The 8th? July 8th.
July 8th.
Yeah, but for you guys, it's July 11th.
This Nerd Notes is about speed running. And you've heard of this before, Talia?
Yeah, it's like when you hold the right trigger so you run faster.
Almost.
Okay.
Alright, so first I'm going to start saying, congratulations to SGDQ.
Is that an acronym?
Yes, it is. SGDQ is, it means Summer Games Done Quick.
Summer Games Done Quick.
I'll get to that more in a second, but it's only congratulations to them because they just raised over $3 million.
Wow.
For Doctors Without Borders.
Doctors Without Borders, what's that?
That is a charity that sends doctors basically anywhere, a lot in Africa.
Do they know about this?
Yeah, no,
they're like,
know.
Hey, you want to take a vacation?
They give out vaccines and stuff, and it's all charity based. And the idea is they send doctors anywhere they need them.
But the doctors are cool with this.
Yeah, they know.
It's like, all right, you want to go to Ethiopia real quick?
Listen, I didn't do research on Doctors Without Borders. I think they're on board.
They give him a pack of Tylenol, and they're like, you need to go cure Ebola.
But it's like,
yeah.
like measles, vaccinations.
Yeah. The things that we're not even worried about here.
The things we should be vaccinated for, yeah, like polio, that kind of stuff. That's next.
Oh, okay.
All right, so just congratulations to them. I didn't donate.
I was gonna ask, but then I thought maybe I should.
Our friends did.
Okay, well, take their credit.
Yeah. All right. So a speedrun is a playthrough of it. So I took this word for word. Is a playthrough or recording of a video game performed with the intention of completing as fast as possible.
Does it have to be recorded? Could you do a speed run and not record it?
You could, but what's the proof?
You would know. You and God.
So yeah.
Even God's like, yo, where the tape at? Where the tape at?
Exactly. And usually it's for competition reasons.
Okay, that makes sense.
Although people Twitch stuff all the time.
Some games have trophies and achievements, right? Or like beat the game and they do. They do. Yeah.
Okay, I believe that, but that's probably outside of speedrunning.
Well, you would have to speedrun to do it, but it's probably not part of like the competition that you're talking about. Because
Probably
it would
not.
Just be getting an achievement.
Yeah, that's probably
this sounds more like an event.
Yeah, that's like the first step. I think just playing through the game as fast as possible. So when they're doing the competition, they have rules they actually have to follow. So no glitches means like you can't actually glitch the game to go faster.
Right. Can you skip cutscenes?
That depends, because if it's a glitch, no.
Well, but what if the game offers you the opportunity to skip?
Then
the
yes,
cutscene?
because that's not a glitch.
Okay.
Or 100% run through, so you have to get.
Did you know that the last cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 4 is an hour and a half?
I did know that.
That's a movie.
I know.
Imagine if you couldn't.
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
is it good?
I beat the game twice. Imagine if you couldn't cut it.
Is there like a plot or like...
No, listen, the first time I didn't know it and I played it and I watched it and I was like, it's a long cutscene, but that was a really good game. It has you by the heartstrings. The second time I was like, I'm gonna record it. So I literally sat there with my phone, hit the start when I got to that point. And I'm so focused on it, I don't think about it again. Then I check my phone, it really was like an hour and a half. And it's just like,
is there like a plot or like a...
There's many scenes compiled together.
Okay.
Like it's a big conclusion. But anyway, continue.
Alright, so they have 100% like completion of the game. So you get like all the trophies, all that stuff. And they do that within like 3 hours. They just know where everything is.
How many times do you think they had to play the game?
They live on these games.
Jeez.
They live on these games. No screen clips is another thing.
What's that?
So you know how there's like a map?
Yeah.
They go outside the map of the game. You ever seen like a 3D model of a video game map?
Yeah.
They break that model. That's a screen clip.
What?
So they would like cut through a wall. They know how to cut through the wall.
Oh.
That's clipping.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So these plans, these speedrunners, they plan out these like paths that they're gonna take. Like I know I need to take a left here, right here, jump over the frog.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for the
just
frog.
to do it as fast as possible. And usually they use glitches, inherent flaws.
But they're
in the
not
game.
allowed to use glitches.
It depends on the run. Like sometimes they're allowed to use glitches. There's different like versions of the speedrun.
Okay.
They use inherent flaws in the game to make it go faster. Like if I know if I press A when this person starts talking, it'll move me 3 scenes ahead.
Okay.
It's kind of like a glitch, but it's more like a flaw.
Okay.
That they can exploit.
If it's in the game's data, and like if it's built into the game, then you're not exploiting. It's just like you're using what's given to you.
Right.
Gotcha.
So what's the point?
What's the point?
Okay. Like I said, there's competition. You can make money playing this. There's charities. Like I said, Doctors Without Borders. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing SGDQ for like 10 years. So it's like a pretty, it's a fairly well-known thing inside its community.
Gotcha.
So they have annual competitions like AGDQ.
AGDQ?
Anything
like
inside
this.
this.
The OBJ thing.
Anything inside this, you can say it's GDQ is probably Games Done Quick.
Okay.
AGDQ, SGDQ, ESA, which takes place in Sweden.
Oh.
NASA, and there's a lot more.
They didn't have that in the movie.
No, they didn't have a computer in the movie. And these are also international. Like, so international speedrunners come to America. Americans go to Sweden. Not just Americans in Sweden, but it's international. Is what I'm saying.
So, like, what's the salary of a speedrunner?
I think if you win, I think you could live off it.
Jeez.
For twitching and stuff.
Yeah.
And YouTube. So the goal is to break the records.
Right.
But they have like a general set time, like what they think it's gonna be, and your goal is to break like the fastest one.
Gotcha.
And I've seen a couple in SGDQ, and that's a yearly event.
Gotcha.
Summer games, and then you do one the winter too.
You know, it would be really intense.
Hmm.
They should do one of these speed runs with the stipulation that it's the first time you're playing the game. Do they do that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Really?
I've seen that.
That would be amazing, because then it's not you've studied it and blah blah blah. It's just basic intuition.
It was not like a really complicated game, but it was pretty cool. They have their own language, which I find interesting. Yeah, well, they like PB is personal best.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of
that's
like Scientology.
It's like PR, like runners. I broke my PR.
Yeah. And then they have tricks, or not tricks.
Whoa. I think that's one of Jeffrey Epstein's.
They have ticks, or they have frames.
Ticks?
Yeah, ticks or frames per second. So that's what they just call like a frame or a tick. And then they continue on to that is like pause or frame perfect. So like they like continuously hit pause to make sure they like line up things about like pixels. So they're like lining up like these like strategies by like pixels. Like they're counting pixels.
Who's counting pixels?
The speedrunner.
They're pausing the game?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that count as their playtime?
Well, if you pause really quick and move like in between. Like, I wish I can demonstrate it to you. Because it's like pause, move, pause, move, pause, move.
Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just go?
Because some glitches only work if they're like on certain pixels.
So this is about like cheating the system.
Yeah.
And they're not just actually just going through it.
Well, yeah, it's about cheating the system. It goes as fast as you can. You look so disappointed.
I'm not. Continue.
And it's like a subclass of esports.
Yeah.
So like, like Overwatch League, Rocket League, or esports. This is like a subclass of esports.
Where you got abs on your thumbs. You just go ham.
Right, yeah. And they also have their like tight-knit circles. One game has like a circle of people. Spyro has a bunch of people. Mario has a bunch of people. Halo. But they all kind of come together for like these events. And it's nice to see this huge community come together. But they also split off and have like fragments inside it.
Yeah.
And they have like their own Discords and Twitches and YouTubes and all that internet stuff.
Gotcha.
Alright, that's it.
I am of the gamers that I love taking my time.
Oh no! This is the opposite of that.
But the thing is it's not their first playthrough. I know, that's why I asked. Like, I'll be playing a game at the same time somebody else is playing a game. And they'll be like, yeah, it took me about 6-7 hours to beat the game. And I'm like, oh, I'm on hour 19 and I haven't beat it yet. But I take in the atmosphere. I like try and explore everything, collect everything. Like, that's just how I enjoy it. Like, my sister is a big part of that too. Like, we always play games together. Like, we just got Resident Evil 2, the remake, and my buddy that I throw darts with beat it, like, super fast. And I think we got over 20 hours. Like, we have our own notebook where we write down...
Really?
Yeah, let's say we find a piece. Oh, you found a padlock. What does that go to? All right, write down that we got a padlock and what room we found it in. Like, we do that in the games. Like, we try and make it an experience. Because being older, you don't have as much time to just play anything. So I don't play as many games, so when I do play them, I like put my entire heart into it.
You know what I find really interesting about that?
Yes.
That is like the essence of speedrunning is you explore the game and you understand it to that kind of depth, but probably even farther. So I think that's... Are you gonna speedrun Resident Evil 2?
No, but that brings me to this. Have you ever done a speedrun?
Nope.
I have.
Have you?
I have.
Really? So maybe you
Yes.
should have done this one.
but not. It's very different. Like, you're talking about an organized. These are the rules. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. This is how it goes. Enter it. In 2006, 2007, before, like, I was, like, privy to the internet, and this makes me sound like I'm an idiot, because, you know, there's a lot on the internet. Like, I'm not talking like 2001 here, like 2006 things were. But I wasn't great on the internet. I would fall into a lot of schemes, and I'm sure one day I'll talk about this more. I spent way too much of my 12-year-old life looking for Bigfoot in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like, I was convinced because people were so good at modding. Like, modding, people modding, that I didn't know what that meant. If I was on the internet, on the web, and I saw a picture of something in a video game, it was in the video game. Like, I'm like, that exists. It was like, oh, go to this cabin. It has to be foggy between 1200 and 1400. And I was like there with CJ, like what's going to happen? But that brings me to this. Resident Evil 4. I heard if you beat Resident Evil 4 in less than 6 hours, you get a special gun. So I looked at my sister, and I looked at our friend Dylan at the time. I was like, I got the Chicago typewriter, which is like this amazing gun that you don't have to reload. Like, it just mauls all the ganado down. I was like, I can do this. And we did it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Literally, we beat it in 5 hours and blah, blah, blah minutes. Like, okay. I don't know. So it wasn't like one of those 2-hour speed runs where your mind's blown. Like, beating that game in 6 hours isn't that crazy. It's like, it's in 3 chapters. Like, the island, the castle, and, the village, the castle, and the island. So it's like 2 hours each one, which isn't bad. Yeah, we did it in 6 hours, nothing happened. And it was just like, oh my goodness. But I love that game, so I don't regret it. But it was, like, I got fooled so much by the internet in my teens.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So I didn't officially do a speed run, but I attempted a fake speed run with no rules.
I was going to tell you, I don't have the desire to do it, but I'd enjoy watching it. But I don't have the desire.
I didn't start watching people play games until recently because I feel like I don't have as much time to play games. So I just watch Markiplier play Firewatch, and it's like, well, I don't feel like buying this game, and I guess I'll just watch him play. I'm not proud of that.
No, I've done it too. It's okay.
Nerd. This is Nerd Notes.
Yeah.
All right, so our second week cinema is here, and we are reviewing the movie Midsommar.
Would you like to come to Midsommar with me?
Yeah, I guess. As long as my girlfriend can come too. But I really don't want her to come.
I wasn't expecting her to come, but...
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to come. Well, the guy from Where the Millers said that she shouldn't come.
I know, he was great.
So...
He was probably my favorite.
Was he?
Yeah, it was fun.
I got something to say about that.
Alright.
But not right now. Okay. Right. So, y'all know what it is? How are we breaking this down?
Packed scale.
Packed scale. So not the same one. We're not talking about portion size here. It would be a hefty portion size if we were. But instead, we are talking about plot, pacing, acting, cinematography, and dialogue. And I just want to reiterate, this is spoiler-free. There will be an extra podcast, extra, hear all about it, tomorrow, where we will talk about spoilers. So if you're like, wow, they barely touched on anything in this podcast, well, wait for tomorrow.
I don't want to spoil anything.
We're not going to tell you who died right now.
No one
because
died.
Nobody died, probably.
I mean, what if someone did?
Listen.
We're not going to tell you who it was.
Could you imagine a 2.5 hour long movie where nobody dies?
Well, I mean, there's rom-coms.
People probably die in the timing of that movie.
People die in rom-coms.
And yeah, if it's a 2.5 hour movie, somebody has to die. Whether natural or not natural causes.
I'm trying to think now, like, what's the movie where no one died?
Yeah, like, because Disney movies aren't 2.5 hours, and people die in Disney movies. They gotta fall, though. Like, if you die in a Disney movie, you gotta fall, and you can't show this.
The grandma died in Moana. Spoiler.
She didn't fall, did she?
No, she got sick.
Oh, I was thinking like Lion King and Hunchback.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because sometimes people die from falling. So, starting with this. Plot. Okay, so the plot. I really enjoyed it. I hope we'll edit this out if it's too spoilery. It starts off with this, and I'm gonna say this, and if you think this is too much, then we'll go from there. But it starts with the main character's family getting killed.
I think we're okay to say that.
It's
the first 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the first 10 minutes. Just from the previews, you know that they go somewhere. Like, it's a travel movie.
Yeah.
It's not like in their hometown something happens. Like, it's not a homegrown.
Right.
They go somewhere. So, when I'm watching... we won't talk about how, but her family dies. She's grieving. Essentially, the whole movie is about a breakup. Mm-hmm. I can say that. And...
The directors said as much.
Oh, then if they said it, I can say it.
Yeah.
We're dealing with their relationship in different ways, but I'm watching her family die, and I'm like, okay, how they died is going to play into where they go. And I was waiting for that, and I was so happy that it didn't necessarily happen. Like, I think there's some Easter eggs that I want to look into more, but essentially, what happened to her family does not have to do with where they went. It was just like it was just a lead into her mindset.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Well, I was expecting that too. The lead in, but it didn't happen. So I was anxious for it the whole time.
Were you?
I was.
You were waiting to see how the family would come into play.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't. Well, I mean, emotionally it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And it didn't. And this really isn't, like, that's about the plot. But so basically we have a couple that is on the hinge, to say the least, and then the boyfriend gets invited with his group of they're in grad school, like they're doing their thesis.
They're doctors.
They're in their doctorates. Okay, they're getting their doctorates, and they go on a trip. One of them wants to use it for their thesis to Sweden. They have like an exchange student. I would call him an exchange student.
Well, yeah.
He's doing his work.
I don't think it's exchange. I think he's just going to school in America.
He's a Swedish fez. he's like, looking. Come back with me to my village. And that's essentially the plot.
Yeah, and Chidi's like, yes.
Yeah.
Do you know who Chidi is?
Chidi.
Yeah. The black dude?
Josh.
Yeah. Well, he's in The Good Place.
Yeah. William Jackson Harper.
Yeah, he's in The Good Place. His name is Chidi in The Good Place.
Oh, I see. I just know him as the dude from The Good Place.
I'm going to call him Chidi.
Gotcha. His name's William Jackson Harper. And he was the one I was pulling for. You said you were pulling for
William Coulter. I wasn't pulling for him. I liked Josh. Oh. But I thought Miller's was the funniest.
I like Josh the best, personally.
Really?
I did.
I thought he was kind of a dick.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, compared to everybody else, but so anyway, that is essentially the plot. And weird things start happening when they get to the village. Mm-hmm. It's tough without going too much into spoilers here, but I was glued to the screen the entire time. There was a lot of suspense.
I was just thinking of that one time you leaned over to me.
But I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm thinking a 3. It was an interesting story, but I don't think it was the most interesting story.
Okay, was there anything you would have changed, or because I could see somebody arguing that they wish the family was involved.
No, I was okay with that.
Okay,
but I think the dynamics could have been played with more.
Okay,
with the outside circle.
Gotcha. Okay, because more time is spent on the relationships within the whole group.
Yeah,
I feel like it did change fast. Okay, so we got 7-4 plot.
Pacing.
Alright, so pacing. So like a good music number, not to bring it back to North Route, a good music number doesn't drag. This had moments where it dragged. It's like, okay, we get it. We can move on to the next scene. I want to see what happens. Let's go. There's a lot of parts where it could have been tightened up, where it was like standing. I know it was building suspense, but it happens so often that I think it hurt itself a little bit.
Right. I completely agree. And this was one of the first things I said to you, I think, after we watched it, was like, for a first watch through, there were a lot of, it's definitely like on a scale of artsy to Michael Bay, it definitely leans towards the artsy.
Well, it's A24.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going.
Was it Ari Aster? Ari Aster? That's the director.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who did Hereditary. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely more on the artsy side. So I feel like when it comes to a movie like that, you're willing to give a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, the company also put out like Witch.
Oh, that was so good.
And Hereditary.
Right. It fits what they do.
That
and
company,
it works.
yeah.
My first watch through, just like Hereditary, just like The Witch, the suspense pulls me through every single scene. Like, there were definitely moments where I kind of pulled back a little bit and was like, okay, this is taking a while. But
I'm thinking of one scene, or a couple scenes in particular, with the tables.
With the tables?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. It was definitely in fear of losing anything, let's put everything in rather than cut to make it shorter and tighter. It's like, well, instead of cutting, like, let's just put it all out there and see what happens. But my biggest concern would be that I think a second watch, for me personally, would be a little difficult.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly what happens now, so I no longer have that suspense pulling me through those scenes. Mm-hmm. So for that, I gave pacing a 3.
I give it a 3 as well.
3? That is a 6 on pacing.
Yeah, Steph's been trying to get me to go back to see it with Matt. And I'm like, I don't want to go right now.
It takes time.
Yeah.
It will take time. Acting. I thought they killed it, personally. Especially, I don't want to mess up her last name, Florence Pugh.
I don't know how to put the name.
Florence Pugh and, oh gosh, Jack Raymond? Did you look up the cast?
No, I didn't look up the cast.
Okay. Florence and Jack killed it because...
That was the main couple, right?
Yeah, they killed it because they have to play the... Like they played their relationship dynamic so well. Like, where it wasn't, like, just in the dialogue, and it was, like, in the body language. Like, and obviously, Ari, I hope I'm saying the director's name right. But, like, the way he directed it was done really well. But especially the scenes with Florence, and I don't want to spoil the ending, but, like, her reaction and just, like, silent acting with facial expression. And her dynamics throughout the entire movie of how she started, her panic attacks, like seeing her calmness and trying to find happiness, and then one word of family is said and just her world crumbling down. Like, Will Poulter was great and the cast was great, but I think specifically for Florence, I think she just absolutely nailed it. And the way that Jack had to act was kind of like under a trance at certain points. I thought he did a fantastic job too. So, I'll let you.
I don't want to just like jump on your tailgates, but tailgates. What's tailcoats? Tailcoats. Coattails. I don't want to ride your coattails, but I agree with you. As a theater major, I really did find really intense subtleties in their acting. I really appreciated it. I thought they did a very good job. They internalized those characters. Hopefully not to a dangerous level like Heath Ledger.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they were method acting, right?
I don't think so. Probably not. But I don't know. But tweet us. I really enjoyed what they did. Jack was his name. He did some really good. I don't want to spoil anything, but the part with the drugs.
Yeah.
Toward the end, I thought that was really, really good. Okay, so I thought Jack's acting was really good. And what was the girl's name? Florence. She was incredible.
Yeah.
I think she was incredible.
Like, you needed to get a lot from the lead because she was playing a very tough role.
It was very emotional. She probably felt that the whole time.
Yeah. I gave it a 5.
I give it a 5 too.
Yeah.
I think she left a lot on the floor.
That is a 10 in act.
Cinematography. This movie was stunning in the way it was presented. The beginning scared me more than anything else.
With the family?
No, not even the family, just the shots. The title sequence.
Oh.
Frightened me. I don't know how you felt about it, but...
With, like, the snow and the...
Yeah. And, like, so we're from Ohio.
Yeah.
We're used to those kinds of snowstorms. But to have the backset of the tragedy in the snowstorm, it hit me in a really scary spot in Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so pretty.
Yeah.
It was so pretty, but to have this, like, kind of, like...
contrast. Like,
yeah.
They used contrast incredibly well.
Yeah. It was really good.
I really liked the shots that they did. They did a lot of panning, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there weren't too... But, like, I don't want to... They didn't do too many quick shots. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was, like, the camera just slowly panning left or right to the next scene rather than a quick... There were some quick shots, if you remember one specifically, And we'll talk about this in the Extra podcast, because that was a great quick shot. But if there were two different styles that I noticed the most, it was the panning and then the slow zoom in. I think there were probably 4 or 5 times where they did the slow zoom in. Like,
I think about that one particular time.
Well, I'll say this one because we already talked about it.
Okay.
So Jack's character is being convinced that he just needs to let her go because they're not that's their relationship dynamic
at the
beginning. And right when they're all having this conversation about leaving her is when he gets a call and they're like, "Oh, not her again." And that's when she found out that her family had been killed. And there's this shot where she's just sobbing on the couch and he's holding her and you can see that's his acting.
That was so detached.
You can see it. Yeah, he's like physically trying to, but you can just see it in his face that he's like, I would rather be anywhere else. And it's literally like probably a minute or a minute and a half to slow zoom into that. And then I think, does it go through the window?
It goes into that really scary title sequence.
Right. And that happens multiple times throughout the film, like that slow zoom in. Because it's just like this movie is just telling you, we are going to take our time. Like, trust us for 2.5 hours. We're not going to lead you astray, but we're going to take our time. Like, this isn't a microwave meal movie. Like, we're going to start from scratch. We're going to mix the ingredients and we're going to put it together. Trust us, it's going to be delicious, but it's going to take time. And the shots do that. The plot does that. Everything builds and takes its time. And I think it works. What do you think about, what did you put for the cinematography?
5.
Same.
Yeah.
I put 5 as well. So that is a 10 for cinematography. Dialogue.
I don't think it felt forced. I don't think the dialogue felt forced at all. It felt natural to me. And where it didn't feel natural, like outside of the main group, inside like the Swedish community, made sense that it was a little awkward because it was not the first language.
Yeah.
I think the dialogue was really good. It was well written for the movie, and I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay. I was never taken out by the dialogue. I thought it's tough because for me, it's not really what they say, it's more so the delivery. What they say is really important too. That's the written dialogue. That's what the screenwriter put. But, you have to consider the actors and actresses' take on it. And it was so foreign to me, and that's what they wanted. Like, you're supposed to feel isolated there. And it did feel foreign to me, so it's like nothing, like at the beginning, the bar scene, like we were talking about, that was really good. Like, that's like boom, 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 like, and then their acting was just fantastic on top of it. I cannot remember one line. There's not one memorable
line. There's no, catchphrase line.
Not even, a catchphrase, but, there's, can you remember one line that stuck out to you that somebody said?
Not off the top of my head.
I give it a 3.
Really, a 3?
I give it a 3. And it wasn't bad. 3 isn't bad. 3 is okay. Like for the genre, you're nobody goes to see The Witch and is like, that's a quotable movie. But it almost is. Would thou like to live deliciously? You know what I mean? Boom. And I watched that movie 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And this isn't taking away from Midsommar. But the dialogue was good enough that it never took me out, but it's not a dialogue I'm going to overly praise. All right. So I'm going to put right in the middle with it.
Okay. I'm going to start with my 5, I think.
Yeah, you should.
I think it's really good. I think it more than just did what it needed to do, I think.
All right. So, coming in with a 42 out of 50.
That's close.
It's very close. It's only 3 away, but we're not changing. It's going to deal with it. Midsommar is Michael Jordan, straight from LeBron's backyard.
It's not bad.
It was really good.
Yeah,
it's really good
movie. I'd recommend going and see it.
Can I be honest? I'm glad it wasn't caviar and dry wine.
Me too.
We can't just be up here dishing out perfect scores. Yeah, everybody, nobody's gonna trust us. They'd be like, well, of course they want everybody to like them. I do want everybody to like us, but we're not gonna fake scores. So if you put out a crap film, then we're going to tell you it's crap.
Look at it, you dead don't die.
Grown-ups, too. That movie was terrible. Claire apparently claims that we left during it. I don't remember that. I don't think I've ever left during a movie.
I have. I don't know what.
Did you?
I have.
Oh. So, I'm just going to throw this in now, and we'll get back to this later. So I just want to say this now, going into it'll be for next month. But last podcast, the first week food, we did a check these out. We listed our top 5 combined favorite podcasts, which hopefully you checked them out. But what we're going to be doing now for the first week is we're going to be doing our segment called High Five. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a topic, a list. Like we were talking about video games today, so I'll just mention that. So we'll say, name the top 5 video games. But we'll create a list of 10. So we only have 10 options. Because if you have too many options, this will never happen. But what we're going to do is Charlie and I are going to try to create our list of 1 through 5 and make a match. And if we can get 3 out of 5 to match, then in second week cinema, we'll see a movie we want to see. Like one that we would want to see in our free time. But if Charlie and I get less than 3 on our high 5 list, then we have to choose to watch a movie we don't want to see. Which, will that make some of our reviews biased? Hey.
Probably.
Yeah, will that mean that we might miss out on some great movies?
Probably.
But, you gotta raise the stakes around here a little bit.
Yeah, make it worth playing,
Make it medium rare. Raise them stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you guys again for listening. We'll be dropping another episode next Thursday. Make sure you stick around. Akron's own Mo Turk is going to be here. We're going to be interviewing him. Excited for that.
I think he looks like James Harden a little bit.
Dude, yes. I've played basketball with him before, and I've looked at him. I'm like, this is the beard over here.
He looks like a little
exactly
bit
like James Harden.
All right,
does he know that?
I don't know if he does.
Dude, if you know that he looks like James Harden,
he's got to know.
It has to be a fact.
Well, I know he watches basketball. I'm not just assuming because he is black that he watches. I know he does.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He has his Andrunas Ilgauskas jersey.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yep.
But I feel like if I know he looks like James Harden, he probably knows he looks like...
That'll be one of our questions.
Do you know you look like James Harden?
That's a statement.
I have to cut this whole thing out then.
You look like James Harden.
All
He's
right.
not going to listen. He better listen. Turk, you better be listening. And you look like James Harden. We're going to ask you your opinion on that.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check out next week when we talk to Mo Turk.
I'm going to get a Facebook message.
He's like, guys, I didn't appreciate that.
I know.
But anyways, this is the Seg-Way.
The best thing to happen to you on a Thursday. I wasn't glued to it. I wasn't glued to it. What the fuck?
Hold on, give me a second. And